What's up, welcome to another episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, and like always, all podcast platforms everywhere you can go listen to this episode. Sorry if you hear the fan in the background, but it's summer, it's Texas, it's hot as shit. Yeah, I know what you're saying. 6 o'clock here. How the fuck can it still be this hot? You ain't living in the South. That's how I know you don't know shit. Anyway, BrandonJaneauShow on all podcast platforms. YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow, and also social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, BrandonJaneauShow. Shout out to all the subscribers that have been subscribing. Shout out to everybody that's been reposting my podcast episodes. I got a new episode dropping tonight, so I hope you guys enjoy that when it comes out. So tonight I am doing Life and Times of Music, and I am going to do the album breakdown. I've been putting this off, putting this off, but it's time for me to finally do the album breakdown. And it comes from one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite rappers, definitely, uh, and it is the Boss, Ricky Rose, Rick Ross, one of my favorite rappers of all time, man. Uh, Definitely, man. I just did his top 10 songs list. I even did a debate on this project. Um, and I hope you guys enjoy this. So I will be doing his album Teflon Don, which is one of my favorite bodies of work by him, man. He's got a couple of my favorite projects, but this project is the cream of the crop. I actually think it actually won when I did the verses between this and Mastermind. I can't remember, but I think I did to pick this album. So here we go. So if you know, Teflon Don came out in 2010. It was one of very highly anticipated projects during that time frame. The man could do no wrong at the time, man. He was heavily in the beef with 50 Cent. I think even him and Jeezy started beefing around that time. But the music always stayed A1 and always stayed supreme with how he moved. So let's get into it. First song off of Teflon Don is "I'm Not a Star." Now I said this when I did the debate of this project against Mastermind, his other album. I'm Not a Star is morally mainly remembered for Lil Wayne song John, which he says in this song, "I'm not a star." What he said, "I'm not a star. I got a million in the car." So, oh shit. If I die tonight, remember me like John Lennon. Well, Wayne got that from this song. So, "I'm Not a Star" is a fire song. The beat picks up. It's a very fast pacing song. Uh, I think one of his best intros. One of his best intros. Not saying it's the best. It's one of the best intros he's done on his albums. Definitely one of my favorite intros. Going into number two, Freemason featuring Jay Z and John Legend. One of my favorite songs that them two dudes did together. Maybe my favorite song that all three that him and John Legend has ever done and him and Jay Z's ever done. Freemason was so dope, man. It was a body of work. This whole project is a body of work, but this song really caps what this album really was. It didn't make my top 10 list, but it was right on the cusp, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Uh, Jay Z talking his shit on there. Bitch, I said I was amazing. Not that I'm a Mason. Like, it was like, ooh, God forgive him. I never would have made it without sin. Oh my God. Like, Hov was talking his shit. John Legend on the chorus. Massive, man. Uh, Man, Ross, man, versus man, him and Jay Z get together, they always kill shit. When him and John Legend get together, they always kill shit. But seeing all three of them come together for one song like this, incredible, man. I can't even knock it, man. That was an incredible body of work. Incredible song, incredible song. Number three goes into the third track, which was my number one song. By the way, that episode of the Rick Ross Top 10 Songs list is out. This was my number one song off of that list. When I heard this song, I immediately loved it. I still love it. I told you that him and John Legend really don't miss, but when he gets with CeeLo Green, they don't fucking miss ever. Like, god damn, they don't miss. I don't know what it is. CeeLo Green and Rick Ross, they are like, I would not mind them niggas doing a collaboration project together. I would not mind it. I think they should do it. Um, Tears of Joy is my favorite song Rick Ross has ever done. It is literally maybe because I was going through some shit at the time. I was a sophomore in school. Um, yeah, so maybe I was a sophomore in school when I heard this song around the summer. I was just going into my sophomore year of school, and man, this song really spoke to me when I first heard it. When Ross literally starts off looking in the mirror, but I don't see much. What he says, staring at the ground, but staring in the looking in the mirror, but I don't see much. When he says that, it's like, damn, I feel you. Like I feel you. Yeah, CeeLo Green, man, sung the shit out this song, man. One of my favorite songs, man, by Ross ever, man. It's one of my favorite songs, man. Uh, which goes into number four, track four, Maybach Music 3. And this features Erica Badu, T.I., and Jadakiss. Out of all of the Maybach musics, this is the perfect one to be three. like, like all of them are special, but this one makes like this is definitely third to me. It goes Made by Music two, then Made by Music, then Made by Music three in the Made by Music catalog category of all of his Made by Musics. Um Erica Badu killed this. T.I., Jadakiss, the way they flowed on that first beat, and then Ross comes in at the end on that last beat, and he just kills it. Uh he literally puts a close to the end, to the song. He puts a closing speech to the song. I thought it was an amazing song, man. Best one. Uh, like I said, third best Maybach music that he's ever done. Um, definitely. Goes to track five. Live Fast, Die Young. One of the dopest beats. I can't even lie. It's probably one of the dopest beats on this project, and it's maybe because it's Kanye West. So Kanye West produced this song because he's on this song. Live Fast, Die Young was dope as fuck. I remember hearing this song and being like, damn. And this was the summer where Kanye and Ross was just trading songs. Like they were just trading songs. Of course, I said Devil is a New Dress with him and Kanye on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Monster, and of course this Live Fast, Die Young was the trilogy of those songs. Man, this song was the best example of how those two just like matched each other. They matched each other perfectly. And they still do. I think if them two niggas do a song together now, they still would match each other. Um, Probably wouldn't be so invested in what Kanye got to say, but you know, you know, yeah. um, Goes into track six, Super High, which features Neo. Um, This was the first single off of the album, actually. A lot of people forget this. This was the first song off of the project. Maybe it was supposed to be like the radio record to get the album buzzing. It did enough. It did what it was supposed to do. You know, it set up the way the album was gonna be pretty much rolled out perfectly for it, and I think that was a good thing. Neo killed it. I think Neo killed this hook. Uh, yeah, I thought it was a really good song. Like super high. Yeah, that shit was dope. That shit was dope. It was a dope. Yeah, that was a dope song. Uh, Track seven, number one, featuring Trey Songz and Diddy wasn't my favorite song. Yeah, it felt like some shit that Diddy put together for him and said this is gonna be the banger. This is gonna be the hit. Wasn't my favorite song. I, and I fought with Trey Songz musically, but yeah, I was like, nah, this ain't it, bro. I was like, nah, this ain't it. I actually like him and Ross and Diddy on Your Love on Diddy's Dirty Money, Last Train to Paris. I thought that song was better, and I like the song that Trey Songz and Ross did for Chapter Five off of Trey Songz album. Don't you be scared. But this song was just not fucking it. This is when you know a Diddy influenced song was just the capsulation of what the fuck that was. And that is exactly what this song was. It was a Diddy influenced song, and it shouldn't have been on this project. I'll be honest with you. Number eight, MC Hammer featuring Gucci. Gucci man. Um, Yeah, this song hard, man. I remember hearing this shit, and I think I was sick. To be honest with you, I was like, I had a headache. I had a bad headache today. And the video, and I remember like MC Hammer came on. I remember my brother playing it, and me, and I'm like, damn. And I'm gonna be honest, like I really got into music around like I was always into music, but this was when I was like heavy on the websites. I was listening to any and everything that just dropped. I didn't care where it was coming from. But Ross with MC Hammer was dope. Like I said, this was the time that him and Jeezy was beefing. And if you know the history of Jeezy and Gucci, you can kind of tell where this kind of feels. Gucci killed this. Gucci in 2010, excuse me, was really hot, man. Y'all know that Gucci was on fire in 2010, man. 2009, like that 5 year stretch for Gucci before he went in was fucking crazy, man. That nigga could not miss. And this song was one of those examples, which goes into number nine, track nine. They think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whoop it work, hallelujah. BMF featuring Styles P Ghost. Um, which started the Jeezy beef. Which started the Jeezy beef. Um, that fucking second hook comes on, man. I swear to God, man, that shit is legend fucking dairy. I've done it so many times when I talk about this project, this body of work, man. These motherfuckers mad that I'm icy. Ugh, ah, that shit get me excited. That shit hit, bro. God damn, nigga. If you got the right speakers too, and that shit come on, ooh, nigga. Yeah, Ghost Styles P is one of my favorite rappers. The Locks is one of my favorite rap groups. And I'm not saying that they were my favorite rap group when I was a kid. Jada Kiss. I hated what State Property and them niggas beef. Like I hated that shit. I fucked with State Property. And I fuck with the Locks. Like I was just like, damn, I fuck with D Block too. This is stupid. Um, you know, I love Jadakiss, but I fuck with Styles heavy, man. Styles P is, I think, one of the best lyricists ever. I know people give it to Jada, but Jada knows Styles is that nigga too. And yeah, man, one of my favorite collaborations. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite collaborations, probably ever. It's up there. I damn sure if I do a collaboration list by myself, I probably would put this somewhere in the. It would damn sure get a consideration of like being in the top 10. It would definitely be there, man. Which goes into number 10, Aston Martin music featuring Cassette Michelle and of course that boy Drizzy Drake. Man, oh man, oh man. How many times I gotta talk about this song in my life when it comes to this? I love this song. I still love this song. I personally would have put the Drake verse on this song. I get it. Drake, I think when you do the video and the the video comes out and then the his verse is on the video, but then you go listen to the album and the album's I think the album came out before the video came out. So this song I think just rapidly grew and it just became such a juggernaut. I remember hearing this song before the album came out. I downloaded it off of Hot New Hip Hop and I had a little maybe I did have my iPod by then. I think I did have my iPod back then. Yeah, I think I had my iPod back by then. So I would download songs off of websites and then put them in my file and then upload them to my Apple Music. And then I used to, you know, download it to my iPod. And so this was one of my songs, and it had the Drake verse. I think this song is gonna go down as one of the best songs Rick Ross has ever done. It probably is the best song Rick Ross has ever done. The beat was perfect. The collaboration, which is Ross is one of the best beat pickers in hip hop. But this song, he's the best instrumental picker in hip hop. But this, I think, really made people realize how great Drake really was and how great he was about to be. And I can't remember. This is after. This is either before or in the mix of "Thank Me Later." So a lot of people can say whatever about "Thank Me Later." The project, that album's a fucking banger. Go and listen to it now. But everybody loved Drake when he did collabos more than he did his own albums. Sound like today, don't it? Um, sound like some shit people say today, don't it? Um, yeah, but this song was incredible, man. Uh, yeah, I wish I could see this live one day. I think it'd be the dopest thing. I saw Drake rap Aston Martin music verse, like his verse off of this before in concert, and I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Um, which goes into track 11, which is one of my personal favorites off the project, All the Money in the World, featuring Raphael Sadiq. This also was so close to being in my top 10. It's one of my favorite songs. Raphael Sadiq's voice, vocals just carried the fuck out this song. Ross rapping his ass off, talking about his father passing. What I'm saying? Like I give up all the money in the world if I could break bread with him. He worked his ass. He worked his whole life just want to break bread with him. Crying in my mansion as I'm holding on this picture. It's a cold and lonely world. Falling solo on you niggas. Being the only boy. Definition of a man. All the money in the world's not a big enough advance. All the money in the world's not a big enough advance for me to turn my back on me being the man that I am. Turn off the lights. Take a ride with me. I want to see you smile. I want to see you smile. It's a fantasy. Yeah, that shit was la 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 la. Yeah, man, that shit was fire. Raphael Sadiq is one of the best R&B artists, man, ever. Tony to when he just did his own solo shit, man. It's one of my favorite artists. And them two collaboration. I know a lot of people more so might know the song off of Rather You Than Me, which is the first song Apple of My Eye. But this is the song that I really just generally would say is their best collaboration. It's one of my favorite songs. Oh man, this album, man, all in all, man, Teflon Don, it's classic. It's a classic, man. It's one of my favorite albums of the 2010s. It kicked off the 2010s really well, man. Ross is one of my favorite rappers, and this album solidified why he was my favorite rapper. Like, there's no misses on this whole body of work. Maybe number track 7, which was the number one feature in Trey Songz and Diddy, but some people probably like that song. I'm just not a big fan of it. But yeah, man, this album's very dope, very collectively established. It was incredible. A lot of great beats. All of the songs had pretty much all the good had every collaboration to the T, perfect to fit. So I can't find nothing wrong with it at all, man. One of my favorite albums. And once this episode comes out, man, I hope you guys go listen to this, and then you go listen to the body of work that this was. Teflon Don should be on all musical platforms everywhere, man. Go listen to it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Until then, I am Brandon Janeau. This is Life of Time of Music, the album breakdown, Teflon Don, and I'm out. Peace.